Former President Trump saying this morning that he will be arrested on Tuesday. Trump said that on Truth Social.
This is so incredibly disturbing.
There's no proof Trump slept with Stormy. There's no baby.
Folks, this is one of the darkest days in our history, if this turns out to be true.
Yeah, it's banana republic stuff.
People don't trust the DOJ anymore. They don't trust the FBI anymore.
Perhaps Biden is behind this because Biden has something to gain if, in fact, the president is indicted because he is his biggest enemy.
And I am begging you, as a friend to you, you know I've never steered you wrong. Please look me in the eye here. This is the most important thing I'm going to say right here, and I'll leave it at this. Please protest. But please, God, and I'm not using his name in vain, please do it peacefully.
Spurring our adversaries to think that we're weak, they're meeting against us. What are you going to do about it? Where is Mitch McConnell? Where are the leading Republicans saying that this is a true two standards of justice?
Whether the prosecutor's a Republican or a Democrat or a crypto socialist like Mr. Bragg, that's not the way our system is supposed to work.
New York is in the middle of a horrific crime crisis, and this is what he's spending his time on?
You could see this coming a mile away. It's purely politically driven by Alvin Bragg.
And it's just about punishing political opponents of Democrats.
If he's the nominee, you're putting 74 million votes in prison.
Overstepping the bounds. It's almost as if the Democrats want exactly what happened in 2016 to happen again.
They're trying to take him out now, and they're trying to trigger another January 6th.
If this New York City prosecutor is allowed to do this, and you are not a Democrat, you need to get out as soon as you can. You run the very real risk of becoming a target of these deep staters.
Here, we have just gotten word former President Donald Trump has been indicted by a grand jury in New York. Trump was under investigation by the DA's office for his alleged hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels during the 2016 campaign.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. The country's not going to stand for it. And people better be careful. I don't like the looks of this thing. How is it even a misdemeanor? I never went to law school.
Democrats are saying is, we will use power against you. You want to elect Donald Trump? You want to have a choice? No, we will use power against you.
I don't have a lot of faith in the legal system anymore. I honestly don't. I think the legal system's been warped, and I don't think people trust it anymore.
Jesse, this is burning down the rule of law. And I tell you, they will regret doing this.
When people are afraid of someone being successful and fixing the mess that our country is, they come after you.
Because this is too great an assault on our system, much greater than anything we saw on January 6th, that's for certain.
And I feel bad for the guy. He didn't even really have to be president. He had a lot of money. He had a great life. And he decided to run. He won. He got in. They took him down. And he will get fingerprinted. And they'll get a mugshot. And then they'll plaster that mugshot all over the country for the next 2 years. And we're looking at a wave. And if you get 3 of the 3 Republican, you're looking at a tsunami.
The Democrats have taken a huge gamble on creating this parallel universe and talking about something totally different.
We're looking at 53, possible 54 in the Senate, and maybe get up to as high as 240 plus House seats.
It's that you're dealing with a very unpopular president whose disapproval rating has been over 50% for a year. Independents are leaning far more toward Republicans. Will they show up? I think for independents, the big question in midterms is not just for whom to vote, but whether to bother at all.
This is something that touches every single American, and they've had it. And they're going to kick the guys out, and we could all see this coming, except for a few people who didn't see it coming.
I will defend Joe Biden. There's some talk that he's not going to give a statement tomorrow. I actually got a copy of his statement already. I exercise my right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment because there is no good explanation.
Kathy is a lackluster candidate who just whiffs on crime and points fingers. And if we could get a Republican in the governor's seat in Albany here in New York, you could really turn the city and the state around.
We can also project that New York Governor Kathy Hochul will win her first full term in office, defeating Republican House Congressman Lee Zeldin.
So we can project that Michigan Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer will prevail over Republican Tudor Dixon in that Michigan race, very closely watched.
But let's just still the facts here. New Hampshire's gone Democrat. Pennsylvania doesn't look great. This thing could come down to Georgia, and we now got to wait for out west.
We're now looking at a possibility of keeping either a 50-50 Senate or maybe just barely missing or losing a seat.
Here it is. Fox News can project that Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman will win the Pennsylvania Senate race over Dr. Mehmet Oz.
This is a very, very significant outcome, and that it comes down to Pennsylvania, I think, is a very is a stunning outcome.
It is stunning.
So far, it's a shift to the Republicans, but not a wave. Particularly the Trump candidates are struggling.
If there's a national wave building for the Republicans, it hasn't quite materialized yet.
The Republican Party needs to do a really deep introspection look in the mirror right now, because this is an absolute disaster.
If you add up the number of seats in which Republicans are now leading in the rest of the country that have not yet been called by somebody, it gets you to about 222, which is exactly what the Democrats have today.
So
we're
four-seat majority.
A 5-seat majority.
5-seat majority.
Yeah, so
That is a searing indictment of the Republican Party. That is a searing indictment of the message that we have been sending to the voters.
What happened to the red wave, Congresswoman? We thought this morning we'd be talking about how clearly the Republicans had the majority in the House.
I can't believe John Fetterman won. I can't believe it.
I'm shocked there was no red wave.
How is this not a red wave?
The glowing predictions of a big red wave were, frankly, a little foolish.
The MAGA movement is committing suicide in front of our very eyes.
We'll just keep doing the same thing over and over again. I'm pissed tonight, frankly.
For the know-it-all Republican consultants, you don't know how to run races in Georgia. All you know how to do is lose.
And we're going to keep seeing the same results if we don't do something different.
We have a Fox News alert for you. Herschel Walker has now taken the lead in the Georgia Senate runoff. 60% of the vote is in. He's pulled ahead of the incumbent Democrat Raphael Warnock by several thousand votes.
We got a horse race here, Tucker. There is no doubt about it. Right now, just a tick before 9 o'clock East Coast time, you got about 2/3 of the estimated vote in at 64%.
Herschel's doing as well or better than he needs almost everywhere. It's certainly a sign that all the lies and all the smears and everything that was done against Herschel didn't work, has had a huge impact on the race. And he and Herschel together are the two heroes of this evening if they end up winning.
I think Republicans have been unwilling, for whatever reason, reluctant, resistant to voting early and voting by mail.
For example, if you want Generation Z voters, you've got to be on TikTok, even if in fact in the long run we may abolish TikTok as a Chinese communist device.
And right now, the Associated Press has just given the check mark to Raphael Warnock. He's going back to the U.S. Senate as the winner of this runoff against Herschel Walker.
But we don't change anything. We have the same people in place in leadership, same people in place apparently at the RNC. Perhaps that's not changing. We just keep doing the same thing over and over again. I'm pissed tonight, frankly. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's really offensive.
I'm mad.
For Republican voters. We need to compete for ballots. If we don't bank ballots early, we're going to keep losing.
But we didn't.
But we didn't.
But we didn't do it in 2020 because everyone said don't vote early because that's corrupt.
Not everyone.
Well,
Yes,
a lot of people did at the
did.
very top of the Republican Party.
Yes,
You didn't.
People did.
I'd like to say this is surprising, but it's not. This is what we expected, and look, the Senate Democrats, I would argue, did a much better job.
And let's be blunt, this was a disaster in Georgia.
This is for Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham and the rest of the Republican senators. You guys are the reasons why we are losing Republican races all over the country. Let me inform you on behalf of Georgia, this is your third strike and you're out.
Right? This is a Senate seat we should have won.
And we are very angry today. We're extremely angry today. Georgia is not a blue state. We're not a purple state. We're a red state.
We've got to show the American public that we have a reason. There's a reason to vote for us, and we have to tell them why they vote for us.
We are basically for nothing, and we complain about it along the way, and then say, well, maybe we'll tell you after we're elected.
We have great candidates. You look at the quality of these people. I mean, you were with Herschel Walker the other day. You look at Dr. Oz, look at J.D. Vance, look at Blake Masters. These are smart guys working hard. All the Democrats can do now with Herschel Walker is throw a smear campaign against him. They can't talk about any of the issues.
We've got to show the American public that we have a reason. There's a reason to vote for us.
This is some third world bull right here. Let me say it again. Third world bull. I mean every word of that.
This is an abomination.
This is insane, Buck.
Jesse, it almost feels like a preemptive coup.
This is the worst attack on this republic in modern history. Period.
It's like what we thought about the Gestapo and people like that they just go after people.
The FBI right now is the Gestapo. The FBI is the Gestapo.
Welcome to politics in the
2000s.
What was on the warrant? What were you really doing? What were you looking for? Why not talk to President Trump and have him give the information you're after? This is unbelievable.
Make no mistake, if you're associated with Donald Trump in any way, you better cross all your I's and dot all your T's, because they're coming for you with the full force of the federal government.
I mean, it's weird. I'm in talk radio and I'm almost without words at the stunts that the governing party in the United States continues to pull to protect their power. And it's a dangerous game.
I just want to say in closing, listen, America, they're laughing at you. The left thinks this is hilarious. If you doubt me, just go to any of their goofy platforms, Twitter or elsewhere right now. They think this is hilarious.
This is about weaponizing the justice system, as it has been so many times in the past, against somebody who you politically do not like. They detest Donald Trump, not just on the Democrat side, but the general establishment, because he's not one of them, because he doesn't play their game. They are terrified.
My father never got so much as a speeding ticket in his life, until he made one decision, and that's to go down the escalators of Mar-a-Lago and spend a lot of money and go and actually fight for this country for the first time. And he did a better job than anybody has ever done. And they worry that Donald Trump will come back in and win this very easily. They also worry about the 2022 midterms, which is the only reason they're doing the sham January 6th panel that does not have a single Republican on it. I mean, other than Liz Cheney, who's about to lose her race by 25 points.
You have the sitting president of the United States, Joe Biden, through his Justice Department, through his FBI, conducting a raid on the person who is presumed to be his opponent in the next election.
But when we get power back, it's time to hold everyone accountable. The military leadership, the civilian leadership, the civil service, those in Congress who've abused their power, all of them have to be held accountable, all of them.
This is a wake-up call for those in Congress to be able to use the tools at their disposal to defund the FBI.
There won't be defunding, there won't be dismantling of our police, and there's not going to be any disbanding of our police. Our police have been letting us live in peace, and we want to make sure we don't have any bad actors in there. And
somebody should go to jail for this, and I hope the special counsel is pretty soon going to be talking to Hillary Clinton.
I mean, honestly, what really should happen is Hillary Clinton should be in jail.
We need to put Hillary Clinton in jail, lock her up. That's right.
They should all be in jail, okay? You know it, and I know it. They should all be in jail, and it's disgraceful. It's a disgrace to our country if they don't go to jail. Hillary Clinton got caught. Comey got caught. They all got caught.
I'm sorry, Hillary. I know you're very disappointed you didn't win, but you're a criminal. Equal justice would mean you should go to jail.
We're a country of laws, not of people that are attacking their political opponent and getting away with it.
Because we've done nothing about the FBI, and for 3 years they've been acting like the state police rather than the FBI, and now the Biden state police. I mean, this is an outrageous act. It's a disgrace.
I don't see how this guy has any credibility whatsoever, Jason. He's got to go.